Email design is by far the number one bottleneck that most brand owners run into when they try to improve their email marketing. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the exact process our team uses that allows us to produce over 200 quality email designs every single month. And I'm going to show you exactly how you can turn 2-hour email designs into 15-minute designs. Let's jump in. All right, so I'm here in the Figma board. Now, this might look a little bit different to what you've seen before, but this is the Figma board that we build out. And this has been by far the most effective way of producing high quality email designs frequently. So I'm just going to run you through this exact board that we built out. You can steal this, you can run with it and use it for your own brand. Just want to break down each single area. So down here, you can obviously see you've got campaigns. Up here, you've got flows. And then up the top here is what we like to call a brand reference board. So instead of storing all of your brand assets, your logos, your colors, your fonts, all on different Google Drives and brand guidelines folders, we like to chuck it all here inside of the Figma board. That way you can just pull directly from the Figma file and you're not going back and forth in between different softwares and different apps. So let's just break down one by one. So what I've gone and done is I've built out a Figma board for this company Therabody. So this is the welcome email we created, and I'll break down the welcome email in a second. But first, I just want to show you through the exact way we build out our Figma board. So you can see here we've got workstation. So this is obviously where we perform all the work. Then once we finish an email, we put it into our flows section here. So you can see we put in the welcome flow into this section here. And then we're going to repeat the same process for all of the emails in all of the flows. So these are the main flows that we like to set up. Obviously, this is a full flow build. So maybe you might be better off just setting up the core flows, which would be your first 4 here, and then potentially a customer thank you, a replenishment, and a customer win back. Up to you how in depth you want to build out your flows. Anyways, jumping into the brand reference board. So first we have email templates, right? So these are going to be repeatable sort of pieces of content that you can repurpose in your designs, so you don't have to create it from scratch. So here we've got a USP section. You can see examples of USP sections that I created for them. Brand reviews. So this is where you would store some review templates that you can repurpose. Coupon codes. So if you have like a 10% off coupon code, you can repurpose that piece in there. You have email headers. So we went ahead and created multiple email header versions for this client, which we can repurpose so we don't have to build it every single time. Email footers as well. You can see here 2 types of email footers. Up here we have buttons. So your basic 4 buttons based on the colors of the brand. And then some transitions as well, which we're going to implement. I'll show you how we implemented them later on. Next, we move on to the brand reference board, which has the color palette, the font styles, the brand logos and icons. So you can see the 4 main colors here we just put in here. And that way you can just pull from this file into your emails right away. And you have the direct colors here. Your brand might have more. You might have 6 to 8 colors, whatever it is. Just make sure you put your colors here. You have your fonts as well. So your main font and then your secondary font, all different colors, all different sizes of that font. Your brand logos, then brand icons. So highly likely on your website you have some icons. You definitely want to repurpose these in your emails. So just pull them. These are what I pulled from Therabody's website. Some more icons here. Next is the brand images. So obviously you probably have a Dropbox or a Google Drive file of all of your brand images. So what you want to do, you want to take the time to pull out majority of your images and paste them all into the Figma file here. So we've done it for 2 of their products. So the TheraGun, TheraMask, and then some also all products / lifestyle images here. So we haven't actually built it out for every single product, as we're only doing a couple of emails to show you guys how we design. So what you would do hypothetically is go through your main 4 products, put in all of the product images, and then you've got collections images, miscellaneous images, lifestyle images, and all product images as well. Lastly, here is the design inspiration board. So this is really important when you're starting out email design and you don't know what direction to go in. You can actually pull inspiration from other brands and use that as your own inspiration when you're creating your design. So what we like to use, really good emails. So jump on here. Let's just say your brand is in the fitness industry and you want to have a look at some email designs from some competitors. So literally just type in fitness in really good emails. And what it'll do is once it loads, which it's loaded here, it gives you a whole range of fitness brands, email designs that you can use as inspiration and pull from. So maybe you like this email from Gymshark here. literally just right click it, copy image, jump back in here into the Figma board, and you can just paste this in like this. And then what you want to do is you want to just make that nice and big. And then you have it, you have some inspiration which you can pull from. So definitely recommend taking the time to build at least 10 to 15 design inspiration emails, which you can pull from, and then use when you are creating your emails. So we've done and created about 6 to 8 design inspiration emails here. And hopefully this makes complete sense. It can be a little bit confusing. So I do have a full video explaining the whole process of this board. If you want to get that, I'll link it in the description. Also, if you want access to this, I have a file here, which I'll give to you for free. Just click the link in the description. You can get access to this. Pretty much the whole template here, which you can customize for your own brand. So none of these have been filled out yet. So if you want access to this file so you can build it out for your own brand, just grab the link in the description. You can get access and then you can build this out for your own brand. Pretty straightforward. So let's jump back in and let's actually break down some email design, which is what this video is about. So we went ahead and created a welcome email for Therabody. You can see here, this is the version that I created myself. So as you can see, very clean email, very nice, very basic, but high converting. We believe an email like this would convert very, very well. And emails similar to this have converted very well for our clients as the first welcome email. So what I want to do here is break down the 3 different sections of an email. And this will give you principles-based learning. So you can then actually apply this to every email you go and create, because design skills are one thing, but knowing the actual principles behind a high converting email is going to allow you, who might not be the best designer, to go out and create really, really strong emails that are there to convert. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how pretty an email looks. The whole goal is to drive a conversion. So we like to simplify it and really break down an email into 3 different sections. So you can see the hero section, the bridge section, and the call to action section. So that's the 3 terms that you can use and refer to. Let's go one by one and break down each section, starting with the hero section. So this is what the reader will first see, typically known as above the fold, the first fold, hero section, whatever you like to call it. That's okay. But what it means is the first sort of section your customer will see without having to scroll. So you can see if they're opening this on iPhone, this is going to be what it looks like. And the way to maximize conversions from this hero section is including a header, subheader, image, and call to action, with making sure the call to action button is above the fold and easy to read. The section should be simple as well, and it should catch their attention with a curiosity-driven headline. So as you can see, welcome to Therabody, here's 15% off. That's a direct call to action there, right there. So nice and simple, straightforward, and it tells the reader what the email is about. And you can even use curiosity, like I mentioned, to get them to scroll down further. So you can see here, we've made it nice and simple, welcome, here's your 15% off, use the code shop now. So they don't have to scroll to actually get that code in the welcome email. They can click right there and go straight to the website. And you can see we've paired it with some nice design here. We've had an over image and a transition here into the second section. So let's walk through bridge section, which is number 2. So this is the meat of your email. So you want to include mostly your body text here, your pictures, reviews, infographics, etc. So you can see here we've got from a need to a movement, and just a little bit of info about them because it's this first welcome email. However, we have not overwhelmed them with too much copy here. We've kept it nice, short and simple, which is really key for conversions. So some tips here: you want to keep copy brief but impactful. You want to use infographics to make the section skimmable. You want to keep subheaders clear and concise. So you can see this subheader is nice and clear. The body copy is skimmable. We've included some infographics or some icons and images here to make it nice and skimmable. So you can see the use of these icons here come in really handy, and it really makes the email easy to consume because they can just skim read and see some of the unique selling points. Moving on to the last section, the call to action section. So this is where we push a little bit harder for the click. We're including reminders of any offers, or we're directly including call to actions to shop products or shop certain categories of your brand. So some tips here: you want to use big and clear call to actions, keep the copy brief, and use curiosity to drive the click. you can see here, don't forget, we're giving you 15% off your first order. Here's your code, shop now. Nice and clear, nice and simple, direct call to action. So there's only really one option they can take. What you can also do here is include product images with actual products they can shop directly to. That helps increase clicks. For this email, we kept it nice and simple as we believe that would help drive clicks, but it's something worth A/B testing further down the line. You can see the footer here, which we've just made from our template, can go here, and you've got other call to actions down here as well, which really improve the click rate, because if they haven't found what they want to shop and they get all the way to the bottom of the email, they can just shop right directly on a certain category. So now that we've broken down the entire section, I want to actually go ahead and create this email from scratch for you guys to give you an understanding of how we actually design emails and the best way you can design it to ensure, the quickness, speed, and efficiency, so you can pump out frequent emails at a rapid pace. So let's start by creating the frame. So as you can see down here, we have the frame. So what you want to do is you want to create a frame and you want it to be 600 long. So what I would do here is just go like this, and then in the right hand section on the width, the width needs to be 600. That's the general size of an email. And then you've got the frame label here, so you can label that the email name. Let's just call it welcome email number 1. So you can see here we've labeled it welcome email number 1. Now I'm going to show you how easy it is to build an email once you already have a bunch of content in your brand reference board. So before you build any emails, build out your brand reference board so you can pull content from there. It makes it so much easier and 100 times faster. So what we're doing here is we're just going to copy this email here. So what I would do is I would grab the headline up here. So we have a thorough body. So if you hold Option, and then you can drag that in just like that. So what I would do here is I would just highlight, hold down Option, and you can paste that in nice and tidy. Next, we need to pull an image here as well. So I'm just going to pull this image. You can also copy it and then just paste it in. So Control C, Control V, nice and tidy here. So we can see the image is down here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull this email here just so it's easier for us to design. So this little cheat code, you can make that 600 just to improve the width. You can see what we've done there, nice and tidy. Next, we need this section here. So actually what we haven't done yet is build out that section in the brand reference board. So what I would recommend is actually building out this free shipping headline here just to make it nice and simple. So you can see the height here is 47, and then we just need some text. So the text we use is a letter regular 18. So what I would do here is I would go to our font styles. You pull the lowest size you can possible. So we're using white font. We're just grabbing this one here and we're pulling it into here. And we would make this 18. So a letter 18. And the headline here would be free shipping on all orders 150 plus. And then to center it, you can press Option and H, and that'll center your piece there. So now that we've done that, next we need to actually fill out this line here. So what we like to do, something you can actually do is, because the colors here are very different, so what you can do, because it's not a full linear color, you actually create a text box like this, pull this up to the top, just make sure it's 600 width, and just put it in the back. And then what we can do is if we click linear here, we can actually change the linear graphs so it's different colors throughout, because a simple black background won't actually fit, because you can see it's darker here and then it goes into a lighter sort of navy blue. So this way we can actually change the color based on the background of that photo. So what you can do is you grab this section here is obviously the gray. So this gray here we're pulling. And then if you grab this clicker here, it actually grabs that color. So if you go as close as possible there, you can see we've done there. Then we're going to add another spot in this email, clicker, and then zoom in and just grab that there. And you can see it's matching that color all the way throughout. So you just repeat this as many times as possible, clicker, Copy that. And then the last one here should make it look all matched. So if we grab the clicker, we put it in the corner there, you can see what that's done. And now you can see that background matches and the transition is very smooth. So you can see, just deleting that there, and you can see sort of how we've built this email. Just matching that, always centering it with Option H. You can see that is starting to come together. So now we just need to pull that body text here. So since we've already got some text here, we can just copy it and paste it. And then we already have that text. Now with the size and for headlines, what we like to do is we like to make sort of the less important words smaller and the big text stand out. So you can see welcome to is a smaller size. It's around 52 pixels, and then Therabody is 70 pixels. That gives it a nice little touch, which I recommend doing. So if we want to write welcome to, and then press enter, Therabody, make sure the alignment is centered here, and then we would highlight this top text. I believe it was 52, if I can remember. Yes, 52. And then Therabody was 70. So once we do that, you can see that has stood out nicely. And what we can do here is actually reduce the height of the line. And what that does is it brings it closer together. So around 100 is that sweet spot. I'm not sure what we did here. We did 102. So just match that up. 102, align that. You can see it's starting to come together nicely. So the next thing here is we want to grab this text here because obviously the offer here is, here's 15% off. So here's 15% off your first order. And we can shrink that to around 4, let's just see, around 30. So you can see here we're making this nice and tidy. Next here is a little bit tricky. So you can see we've got use code Thera15 with a text box around it, right? So you can see the text here is 30 again. So what we can do is we can duplicate this text here and then just write use code and then space it out. And the code is Thera15, right? So we've used that and then we can center that. And now we need to create a text box. So what you do here is just you go into the rectangle, create that text box for the code. You want to actually remove the fill and then add a stroke and turn that stroke white and then add the weight. Make sure it's positioned on the outside as well. And then if you click into the sections here, you can actually custom the stroke style. So instead of solid, you go dash, and then we go about 20 for the dash size to give it a nice shape there. So you can see the impact that has had, and it makes it stand out a lot better. What I would also do in this situation is make this text here blue so it stands out. So you can see there's already a color blue here, which we can pull from. And then we'd also make this blue. So you can see that stands out nicely. If we want to add further standing out, we can actually fill it, but make the fill about 10. So that way it gives it a nice little shadow. I'd say around 20 looks good. You can send that to back and you can see the effect that has nice on the email. The next thing here is that shop now button. So we can just pull our shop now buttons from here. So we're copying that, just paste that in here. You can see we've pasted that nicely. If we want to shrink the size of this, but we want to keep all the elements the same, you can press the letter K and then that'll shrink it like that. So you don't have to shrink the two different sections separately. So we can shrink that nice. We still want the button to be relatively big in my opinion. So I'd say that looks nice. I'd probably even increase the size of this here to around 28, just to give it a nice, clearer call to action, right? So what we can see here is you can see we've put this guy ahead in front of the button here to improve the effect. So what I would do in this situation is you need to actually duplicate this image. So you create two versions of this image. And then what you do is you go into the plugins section. So actions, plugins and widgets, and you do a background remover. So Icons 8 background remover is a plugin you can add. It's free. Just remove that background. And then once that runs, what it does is it removes the background and then it leaves the forefront. So I'll show you how this turns out in a design. It's a very nice trick that our designers use, and it works really well at making the email pop a little bit. So you can see the difference between that guy being in front of the button versus behind. It makes it pop very nicely. So whilst that's running down here, we'll get a notification once it has finished running. But if we look, yes, we can see it's removed. So what we want to do, we just want to pull this up. And then this front one, if we send it to front, so you can actually click options, bring to front. You can also press that button there to bring it to front. You can see we've just brought that image to front, but what it actually is just like that. So we've got the background there still, but we've got that front image like that. So it looks very clever how we've done it there. So you can see that's coming together very nicely. The next step here is we want to add a little transition here. So what we can do is we pull this transition that we brought, paste it in. You can see we actually need to flip this. So just press 180 on this angle here, and that's flipped very nicely. You can see that's how we've moved it. So that is the hero section. Now let's move on to the body section. So you can see what we've got here is just a headline with some body text and then some icons here with those images. So in this situation, we would next grab some copy. So we've already got nice headline copy here. So we can just pull that, change the fill to black, and then we just need to adjust the actual text here. So from a need to a movement, we just need to alt this text. So we'll go around 70, and this can be around 50. So you can see we're always changing the text size just so it stands out. I think we did 45 and 70. Okay. From a need to a movement, and then we're going to add some line height there to make it stand out nicely. And the next is literally just body text again. So you can see here it's just 28 size. So we just pull that in. So when you are writing your emails, I recommend writing the email before doing the design. So obviously you've written that email, and then you just paste the design in there. Next, we need some icons. So you can see from this brand reference board, we've got a bunch of icons here that we created from the website. So literally just pulling them in, adding that in, press K, and you can change that scale nicely. So we're just getting those to fit in nicely. They look very good to me. Next, we need these 3 images here. So obviously you are going to your images, clicking these 3 images here. You can see we've chosen these 3. We want to paste these in. So always add those images in. If you want to align these images, you just press the alignment up here. Now they're all at the top. We want to change the width and the height here. So we've got 190 by 242. So we need to change all these to 190. Width and the height, 242. You can see we've changed that nicely. And then the gap is actually 31 in between the spacing. So if we go select these 3 images, click 31, you can see that's nice. And they also have a corner radius of 17 and a drop shadow. So we need to add those in. So we're just going to paste these in nicely. Corner radius of 17. And then to make it pop, we like doing an effect. You click effect and it's shadow. See that shadow come up? You can see the shadow effect, which creates a lovely effect there. So the last step here is this last banner here. So I'm just going to extend this out for you. Let's grab this email footer as well, just to finish it off. And then lastly, we just need this here. So we've got this transition here. So we're pulling that in. And they've actually changed the color as well of this background. So what I would do is I would just grab a rectangle here, create that rectangle, make sure it's 600 width, make sure it's centered, send it to back. So you can right click, send to back, change this color very easily like that. And then all you need to do is create that little banner. So you can see this banner right here, we're going to create real quickly. So what you can do is you triple click on that. So it goes to this setting here, and you can pull in these like this, right? And that creates a nice little banner, and you do it until it's equal. And then you click off, and you can change the color of this. So obviously we're changing it to this color. And you can see that's come up very nicely, and I can just paste these in because I'm sure you understand the process of adding text in, and then these as well is very simple to paste in. So I'm just going to add these in for us to finish this email off. Make sure all the alignment is nice. And add this up. And there you have it, guys. You have that email complete. We're just going to close that off frame. So there you have it. There is the email. You can see we've created that in about 10 to 15 minutes. So we did really, really nicely. If you want more examples of creating emails, I'm going to release some more videos. Also, if you want access to this design board so you can create this up for yourself, link in the description. But you can see how when we design in 3 different sections, it makes it so much easier. Aim when you are creating emails to use 3 different sections in your emails to keep them consistent and high converting. Also, we have a bunch of templates as well, which we can give access to. So if you want access to them, I'll include it in the link to getting access to this. You'll also get access to templates, which you can literally plug into your own Klaviyo account. So hopefully this helped. By far, the most important thing we used was building out that brand reference board, and it makes design so much easier. So I look forward to